Today I discuss the osteology of the thorax, one of the bones, scapula. Morphologically, it is a flat bone, and the body of the scapula is thin, flat, triangular with two surface, ventral surface, and this is the dorsal surface. Ventral surface is attached with the posterior surface of the thoracic cage, and it extends from the second to 7 rib. What are the different parts of the scapula? It has body which is triangular in shape. It has three angles: superior angle, inferior angle, and lateral angle. At the lateral angle, there is a shallow pear-shaped fossa called glenoid cavity. It has three borders. Superior border is the thinnest border, presents a suprascapular notch near the root of the coracoid process. The medial border is thin, extend from the superior angle to the inferior angle. It is the largest border of the scapula. Lateral border is the thickest border of the scapula, extend from the glenoid cavity to the inferior angle. Two surface, this is ventral surface and this is concave, and it is called the subscapular fossa. This is dorsal surface is divided into supraspinous and infraspinous fossa by spine of the scapula. It has three processes: spinous process, Acromion process, and Coracoid process. The spinous process is present on the dorsal aspect of the body of the scapula and is triangular in shape. Its anterior border is attached to the body of the scapula, and the posterior border is known as the crest of spine. This is free. The crest of the spine of the scapula has two borders, the upper border and lower border. The lateral border of the spine forms the boundary of spinoglenoid notch. This is Acromion process. It is forward projection from the lateral end of the spine. It has medial border and lateral border and superior surface and inferior surface. It has an articular facet near the tip to which articulate the lateral end of the clavicle. This is coracoid process. It present above the glenoid cavity. It is shaped like a bent finger. It provides attachment to the three muscle and three ligament. How can you determine the side of the bones? In order to determine the side of one, must know that inferior angle is directed inferiorly. The dorsal surface bears spinous process directed posteriorly, and glenoid cavity is face laterally, upward and forward. How to hold scapula in anatomical position? Hold the bone in such a way the costal surface is face anteromedially and glenoid cavity face anterolaterally and little bit upward. Now the muscular attachment. Muscular attachment of the three foci of the scapula. The costal surface, its medial two-thirds is provide origin of subscapularis muscle. Dorsal surface, the supraspinous fossa and upper surface of the spine of the scapula give origin to supraspinous muscle. Infraspinous fossa and inferior surface of the spine of the scapula gives origin to infraspinous muscle. Muscle attached to the three border of the scapula. The medial border. Medial border, the costal surface of the medial border provide attachment of the serratus anterior muscle. Medial border, dorsal surface from above downward provide attachment of three muscle up to this levator scapulae, then teres rhomboideus major, then rhomboideus minor and rhomboideus major. Now the attachment of the lateral border. The dorsal surface attached to the teres minor and teres major. The superior border, inferior belly of the omohyoid is attached on the superior border near the supraspinous notch. Muscular attachment to the three processes of scapula. The crest of the scapula and border of the acromion process. Deltoid muscle is take origin from the inferior border of the crest of the spine of the scapula and lateral border of the acromion. The medial border of the acromion and upper lip of the crest causes insertion of the trapezius muscle. Now the coracoid process. The coracobrachialis and short half of the biceps arise from the tip of the coracoid process. Pectoralis minor is inserted into the superior surface of the coracoid process. Now the muscular attachment of the inferior angle supraglenoid tubercle and infraglenoid tubercle. This is the inferior angle. Its dorsal surface is provide attachment of latissimus dorsi. Supraglenoid tubercle, attachment of the long head of the bicep. Infraglenoid tubercle, long head of the triceps brachii muscle. Now, name of the ligament attached to the scapula. Suprascapular ligament is attached to the either end of the suprascapular notch. Suprascapular vessels pass above the ligament and suprascapular nerve below the ligament. The vessels and nerve then run along spinoglenoid notch to reach the infraspinous fossa. Three ligaments are attached to the coracoid process: coracohumeral ligament to the root, coracoacromial in the lateral border, and coracoclavicular ligament. It has two parts, conoid part and trapezoid part. So now the summary of attachment of the coracoid process. Three muscle, coracobrachialis, short half of the bicep from the tip of the coracoid process and from the superior border, superior surface, pectoralis major. Three ligament, coracohumeral, coracoacromial and coracoclavicular ligament. How does scapula ossify? Scapula ossify form one primary center and seven secondary center of ossification. Two for coracoid process, two for acromion process, and one each for glenoid cavity, inferior angle, and medial border. Coracoid process fuse with the body of the scapula by the 16th years and all other center fuse with body by 20th year. So this is all about scapula. Thank you for watching.